like to thank Joint Co-Convener, Mr. Kumar Borah and Uttam Soikia, and the coordinator of I.Q.A.C. of our college. With these few words, I come to conclusion and declare that inaugurate the webinar. Thanking you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inaugural speech. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Devid Kardong, sir, to give small speech as a chief guest.
Yeah.
Kardong, sir, please.
Thank you. Yes. Good afternoon, all. Respected Principal Dr. Arup Kumar Borah, Mr. Uttam Soikia, the Program Officer, N.S.S. Unit, Majuli College, the Coordinator, I.Q.A.C. cell, my esteemed and most respectful resource persons of today's lecture series, and the faculty members of the college, my beloved participants of the lecture series. At the very outset, I would like to say that I am highly honored for being invited as chief guest of this lecture series, and this lecture series, I hope, will be a very fruitful one and come up with great success. But at the same time, I would like to, without taking any time, I'd like to appreciate our principal and program officer of the college, because this is my time that I can appreciate, I can say something about the N.S.S. unit of the college. And this N.S.S. unit is growing up very fast and very active during the last few years, and hope this if this trend goes on, very shortly we'll expect some new good news to the college. So I'm line is over gone. So I do not know about much about other speakers, but one speaker, Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah, is there, who is a very good orator and critic, and our participant will get much of him, particularly on the interesting topic he has given to deliver. And I'm taking no time, because 3 resource persons are on the line for their turn. So with these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank you for inviting me, and wish this national level lecture series will be fruitful one. Thank you once again, all. Over to the convener.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your giving us valuable time in your busy schedule, and also thank you for complimenting our N.S.S. cell of Majuli College, and we hope for the good news will be declared later on. And now, respected principal sir, and our invited speakers, and chief guest sir, now we are going to start the session. At first, I'd like to invite Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah sir to start the session. And before this, I'd like to introduce Dr. Borah sir in front of the participants. Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah, presently working as State Project Administrator of State Project Implementation Unit, Northeast, a unit of MHRD in Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, Government of India. He is presently on deputation from Dibrugarh University, where he was working as Director, Dibrugarh University Institute of Engineering and Technology till October 2017. Dr. Borah has obtained BE Civil Engineering for Dr. Borah has obtained BE Civil Engineering from Guwahati Civil Engineering College 1989 and MTech from IIT Kharagpur in 2000 and PhD in Ground Improvement and from IIT Guwahati on 2011. His area of research includes ground improvement, use of geosynthetics in soft soil improvement, sustainable construction, use of non-biodegradable waste in concrete, sustainable development and climate change, as well as history of science and technology of ancient India. Although his primary area of research is related to soft ground improvement, but he is more interested in need-based research required for the society. He is having more than 28 years of experience, starting from construction industry to consultancy, research and educational administration. He is also presently serving as member of Academic Council of Northeastern Hill University, Nehu, Shillong, and expert member of Board of Town and Country Planning of All India Council of Technical Education, AICTE, New Delhi. During his tenure in Dibrugarh University as a director of DUET, he was part of different committees of the university related to planning and construction, academic council. Dr. Borah has got many research publications in different national and international journals and conferences. The primary focus of his research is the use of waste for sustainable products. So I'd like to invite Dr. Borah sir to continue the session. Dr. Borah sir, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
audible?
you are audible.
Okay.
You are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, very good afternoon to the principal of Majuli College, my colleague of Dibrugarh University, Dr. Glad to see him in the virtual platform, Dr. Priyanka, and then Devraj Mahanta, and then the other faculty members who have joined this webinar, as well as the organizers of this, I.Q.A.C, as well as Dr. Borah of I.Q.A.C cell of the Majuli College. So just at around 12 o'clock to 1:30, so this is a topic where I have already spoken to Dibrugarh University Institute of Engineering and Technology students and faculty members. So days are not far, then people will recognize me as he is the person who is a waste, like that. So we always give the nicknames, na? So time will come, because till today I have delivered at least 4 to 5 speeches on this particular issue, waste management. So first of all, one thing I want to make it clear, as such, we have to forget the terminology called waste from now onwards, because there is nothing called waste in this universe. Everything is wealth only. So that we have to understand first. Then the topic itself is shown that the waste management of Assam as a circular economy. So the students of economy might be knowing that there are two types of economic model. One is known as linear economic model, and the other one is known as circular economic model. Although if we do not heard it frequently, but now onwards we have to go for research on this particular area. What does linear economic model tells us, and what does circular economic model tells us? The 2030 Sustainable Development Goal set by the United Nations Development Program and UN and the different countries throughout the world has made us more accountable to go for the sustainable development and mitigate the environmental hazard created by the so-called intellectual mankind. I'm telling it with very bad of my heart that whatever unsustainable world we have created, that has been created by us only. We have to understand. If we understand this much, then 80% of the problem will get solved. So we use nature as a resource. We use nature as a milky cow without going through the feeding of the cow to give us the milk required for our day-to-day life. We use the nature in such a way that we make it as a milky cow without putting lot of food or without feeding the cow itself. So let us come to the point. What is waste about? So as I have mentioned that I do not call it as a waste. Although people are telling that waste, 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 I do not feel that anything waste is there in this particular word. Everything is wealth only. So rather than I will speak, I will say that this is a byproduct. What the linear economic model states says. Linear economic model states that material, then product, then waste. So I used to make it like this: material, product, then byproduct. If it is byproduct, then if you understand it as a, instead of waste, if we understand it as a byproduct, so 50% problem of waste management has been solved. Why? Because we call it a byproduct. So we cook rice in a open pan, then we got that one, what is called as that starch. Then starch itself is a very useful product for somebody else, or for some animals, or for some other living creatures. So instead of taking it that starch as a waste, so we call it as a byproduct. So when we cook rice, then starch produce, that's all. When we manufacture something, some byproduct produce, which is supposed to be the waste, which is normally called as. So what are different types of waste available with us? There are two types of waste available with us. One is called as biodegradable waste. Other one is called as non-biodegradable waste. So biodegradable waste has got no problem. It is all right. Any sort of biodegradable waste can be degraded by the mother earth. Why I call it as a mother earth? Because it gives us everything. Starting from petroleum product to the solar energy to everything we got from the mother earth. And the food we take is also product of the mother earth. If mother earth is not there, then we will not get anything from this earth. Whatever fuel we use, that's also obtained from the mother earth. So that is why I call it as a mother earth. So mother earth can take those materials which are not chemically transformed. Please note it down that which are not chemically transformed. If it is chemically transformed, then it cannot be digested by the mother earth. So if it cannot be digested by the mother earth, so that it becomes a non-biodegradable item. That means it will not accepted by the mother earth. Initially, since I am from geotechnical engineering, I am from soil mechanics and foundation engineering. I have done my master's and PhD in this particular subject. So initially it was used in landfill engineering. So landfill engineering means this is a common terminology used in geotechnical engineering, but in simplified form, you have seen that whenever some debris or some sort of unused materials come up in our family out of our cleanliness or something else, we put it in the marshy land. So marshy land get deposited with those materials I have got disconnected because somebody has called me. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Now
Yes,
audible,
yes,
sir.
you are
You can
audible.
speak.
Okay.
You are audible.
Okay.
So some phone calls has come in one mobile, then it goes to other mobiles. So these are the problems we are facing. So it got disconnected. So anyway, I am connected now, and so the biodegradable waste has got no problem with us. Only the non-biodegradable waste has created a lot of problems. So as you know that non-biodegradable waste can be used in defined modes, in defined platforms. So first of all, I will speak about some waste which are coming out during our festival times. That is, one is called as banana tree, color ghost banana tree, which is more frequently seen in the streets and towns and cities during the period of Deepavali festival. We have seen that trucks and trucks of banana trees are falling here and there without any use. And it becomes a problematic for the municipality to collect those items and to dispose of. So we were not aware of that the banana trees or banana plants trees can be used for the purpose of extraction of fibers as well as production of organic fertilizers. We do not know. These are not rocket science. I am not telling these things from my own conception. I have read some literature, I have read some research papers, I have read some work of some other countries, then I come to the conclusion. There is nothing called rocket science. These are all small things which we can use at any time with with some customization. Why customization? Because if we do not go for customization, then it will create a lot of problem, because no technology can be put in place without going to the application in the localized form. So this banana tree, which we normally see as a waste product or waste, is a wealth for our economic model. And I can foresee that an economic model of around 1 lakh crore can be created in the entire Assam with only just from the waste only. Can you believe that the concrete, which is known as building demolition waste, can be used as a recycled aggregate in the modern construction of buildings? In Germany, Hamburg city, there was a 450 units of flats has been constructed from the recycled aggregate. What is recycled aggregate? That is the aggregate which are made or manufactured from the building demolition waste. That means whatever concrete, whatever blocks, whatever used materials were there in the old buildings, when you dismantle it, it can be recycled and it can be used as a new material in the construction of buildings and all those things. So this building was constructed not now, it was constructed around 70 years back. I have published one paper of this particular topic, that how we can use the recycled materials in different parts of the country and different parts of our state and different parts of our district and other places. So it depends upon the technocrat. So technocrats are not looking after those materials. Why? Because of some unknown reasons. I do not know. So that is why, being a technocrat, I always encountered with technocrats with lot of questions. Please answer me, please answer me, please answer me. But person has got no answer. Why? Because they do not want to go into the detail of the subject matter. So if it happens to where the recycled aggregate can be used in the new construction works, then what will happen? It will decrease the load on the environment. How? Because the aggregate is required and aggregate needed, and it is extracted from the hills by breaking the big stones with the dynamite or some blasting materials. So it will give rise to the philosophy of the change of land use pattern mitigation. That means what? Initially there was a hill, then what happens in due course of time, after 20 years, after 10 years, the hill is not there. Why? Because all the stones has been taken out from that hill. And ultimately what happened? It will put a negative impact on the environment. So we talk about environment, but we talk about environment from mouth, not from heart. You speak environment from the heart, then you will feel that what environment exactly means for. So we talk about everything. We talk about environment. We talk about Environmental Impact Assessment Act 2020, right? But we do not talk about the 25% forest and occupied by the unauthorized people. Why? Because we keep mum. We see everything in terms of some other parameters. So we have to see as a teacher, as a sensible citizen, we have to see all the things in the same way basin. तराजू में आपका फेयर नहीं होना चाहिए, अपना पार्लर फेयर था कि बनवारे. Why? Because if it is there, then you will be nowhere after some time. Because this is the age of media, this is the age of internet. So whatever information you may not receive, that might be received by some other person. That is why I used to go Facebook Live, because nobody will listen to me in any platform, because I used to speak the truth. But truth is very bitter to listen. That is why I always speak the truth in the social media. In the Facebook Live, I used to speak. I used to give a lot of information, a lot of data. So if anybody has the guts to defend this, so he or she has got the every right to defend it. But till today, I have gone through Facebook Live in 4 different occasions, but nobody has given any reverse comment, because we have not studied. We do not know the logic. So that is why I'm telling that the technocrats should promote these things. And you as a sensible citizen, if you tell my name that there is a person who talk on this particular issue, the recycled aggregate can be used in the building construction, at least you see whether it can be used in the pavement or not. First of all, you put in the pavement, which has got no, danger, no life survival facilities. Then you can go for that. Let us try it. The start should come from myself. If I am not starting myself, then how can I tell others to start it? So this is also one of the avenue where there is a huge potential for the environment-friendly materials to be manufactured, and it will give rise to a lot of economic model. And this can be also business for the entrepreneur, for the youth. You might be astonished to know that according to Ministry of Human Resource Development report, there are 33 crores of Indian students are coming up from the higher education institution every year. Can you imagine that in 3 years? So how much it will be? 33 into divided multiplied by that much. So can you imagine how much the total strength will be? So can we create job for the 33 crores million population or students in each and every year? No, it is exactly impossible. Whatever be the government may be, whatever be the party may be, no government can create this much of job. It is a fake propaganda. People are telling that I will put you everything in job. How can it be? Should it be feasible? No, it is not feasible. So why, since it is not feasible, but still we are believing that this can be done, that can be done, that can be done. No, unless and until we do not wake up from our own unconsciousness in the sense of that awareness towards environment, awareness towards the reuse of the materials. So unless and until we wake up, nobody can make us to err. So this is the point. So you have seen that almost all families having the tube lights, na? Am I right? Tube lights you have, tube lights, bulbs you have. So what do you do after getting fused? You will throw it to some of the portion of your area where there are some sumps are there, some sort of marshy lands are there. Or best way to throw it in the road so that it will be collected by somebody else instead of collecting by yourself. So I request you, please keep all this with you. I can show you where it can be used and how it can be used. Do you understand? Is it clear for you? Tube light, bulbs, glasses, potteries, cup plate, God pe use ka sa khai, cup plate bhangi jai. If your glass has been broken, keep it for me. I'll consume it. No issue. I'll show you how to consume it. If your cutlery has been broken out, if your pottery has been broken out, don't throw it here and there because it is not digested by the mother earth. So don't create havoc to the mother earth. That's why I'm telling that if this type of waste materials are there, please keep it for me. I'll show you the idea, how to invest it, how to get it returned, how to minimize the natural resources, how to minimize the use of natural resources. So these are the different ways where we can go for the circular economic model instead of going to the linear economic model, which has created this heaven to havoc. Am I right? So who make the unsustainable? We make this unsustainable. If I have done the mistake, I have to correct my mistake. Am I right? So we human beings just create a lot of miseries to this particular world. So we have to get rid of these things. And do you believe that? Why the developed countries are crying after sustainable development climate change? Because the climate is the only parameter which cannot be kept under enclosures. If it could be kept under enclosures, they will not have those hue and cry. Because they have developed so many industries throughout the world in the developing countries in the name of foreign direct investment, which are called as dumping industries. What is called dumping industries? That means they need the process, they do not like the product. They need the product, they do not like the process. So these are the some issues. I can speak for so many hours and hours after hours on this particular issue, but I am not going to those things because already I think my time is over. So I should not speak much. But I will be glad to know if you have got any answer, any questions to be asked from my side, then I will be happy to answer it. If I do not able to answer, I will search and research and find a solution for you. You do not have to worry about this. I will do the homework for yourself. But my point is that from today onward, we have to forget there is a terminology called biomedical waste. So since my doctor is there, so I have to speak on that occasion too. So biomedical waste also can be used in several times in different systems, different activities. But thing is that it is to be sanitized first so that it gets infection proof, then it can be used in some other construction activities. So as you know that civil engineering department or civil engineering construction uses huge amount of natural materials. So if we can replace at least 30% of these materials, then it will give rise to 1 lakh crore economic model throughout the country. So with this much award, with folded hands, I beg pardon if I am hurting somebody else, but I am speaking the truth. If I am not speaking the truth, who will speak the truth? Somebody has to speak the truth. Otherwise, this whole India, whole country, whole Assam will run after fake propaganda, fake news, and fake news factories, and fake everything is fake except you and me. So we have to be honest so that our next generation can get benefit out of our good works. And with this much award, with folded hands, I thank Majuli College organizers, principals, and all the eminent personality, all the learned people here, that for giving me the opportunity to speak on the occasion of waste management as a model of circular economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very informative and descriptive lectures on waste management and as a circular economy. I'd like to request that all participants, if you have any query, please throw it in our chat box. We will respond it after the 3 sessions is over. There is a discussion session on the various queries and suggestions. Then again, I very thankful to Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah sir for very informative lectures. And next, I'd like to request Dr. Priyanka Changmai to give lectures. She will talk on common chest disease and its diagnosis. Before this, I'd like to introduce Dr. Priyanka Changmai in front of the participants. Dr. Priyanka Changmai is a specialist. Dr. Priyanka Changmai is a specialist in chest medicine and respiratory diseases based at Jorhat in Assam. She completed her MBBS from Guwahati Medical College and Hospital in 2005. Dr. Changmai has obtained the title of Diplomat of the National Board, DNB, in Pulmonary Medicine through the National Institute of Tuberculosis and Respiratory Disease, New Delhi, which is the apex institution in the field. Dr. Priyanka Changmai commenced her medical practice as a registrar of registered in the N.S.S department at Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. So I like to invite Dr. Priyanka Changmai to continue the session. Dr.
Good
Changmai.
afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Can I be heard? Am I audible?
Yeah.
First of all, my regards to Dr. Arup Borah, Dr. Anup Borah, Principal Majuli College, Dr. Devid Kardong, Convener N.S.S.
Dr. Priyanka Changmai.
Yeah.
Actually, I am not principal. Principal is Dr. Arup Kumar Borah. He is my elder brother.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I am the convener of the series. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, and also my regards to my guest lecturers, Dr. Mukul Borah and Mr. Mahanta. First of all, I'll be talking a little bit on the common chest problems. As you know, right from a person is born, right from a baby is born till the time he dies, one person invariably suffers from chest complaints, respiratory complaints. So the moment our lungs are formed, when you are a baby inside your mother's womb, what keeps you alive? The function of our lungs. It helps us in breathing and ultimately keeps us alive. So that itself is like, if I can say, it is a very important organ. All the time it's being used. We are always taking breath even while sleeping. So it's always being used, and ultimately it is a very what do you say? Acquiring not only infections, all sorts of diseases or other tumor. In a basic format, I would say that when you talk of chest symptoms, so there are basically 6 cardinal chest symptoms. So a person will have these when a person comes to the doctor with these complaints. We know that we are dealing with the lungs or the respiratory system and the lungs and its adjoining structures. So we are mainly dealing with 6 cardinal chest symptoms. These are, first of all, is your cough. Next is your sputum. The third is your spitting out of blood or hemoptysis. Fourth can be your chest pain, and the other is breathing difficulty. So and your sound while breathing, that is called wheeze. So these are the 6 cardinal chest symptoms, and these are the symptoms for which mainly a person lands up to the doctor. So the next thing is simple cough, cold, fever. We have all had in our lifetime. Very frequently we have it, and it's seasonal also. So anyone, even a baby, right from a baby to an old man, anyone can have. Now I'll basically conditions, or when do these chest symptoms, they ultimately lead to your deterioration in your general health, and ultimately for which you land up in a doctor's place. So I'll tell you basically on the conditions for which you should go to your doctor when this becomes in excess. So how will you know that this is in excess of what we are normally having? So first of all is cough. So when we talk of cough is basically it's a reflex mechanism. So when suppose we eat something, or suppose we get something bad smell, or something goes inside our nose or mouth, it's a reflex mechanism. We cough it out. So this is basically physiological. When does it become pathological? That means when does it become disease related? So when your cough is it's of a longer duration, 2 to 3 days of cough while you're having your simple that is not something to be scared of. But if your cough is more than 2 weeks, you're having it for a long time, if your cough is leading to your production of sputum or production of phlegm, if your cough is leading to production of blood in your sputum, so these are the conditions when you should be very careful. Then you should be what I would say that you should consult your doctor or your pulmonologist at the earliest. So if your cough is associated with blood, if your cough is associated with sputum, if your cough is of a long-term duration, that which is, like maybe more than 2 weeks, 1 month. So these are the conditions when even with that cough also, you should go to your doctor, because there can be many causes for this cough. Most commonly in our country, with a high prevalence of tuberculosis, the most common cause for such long duration of cough is basically TB. But then not all cough is TB. So you should have, there are different types of cough also. So one, it can be allergic. If you are prone to your allergic cough, it can be allergic. The other thing is that even if you're suffering from lung cancer, it can be your cough can be of longer duration. So when your cough is associated with these features and it's of a longer duration, you should consult your doctor. The other is your sputum or phlegm, So if your cough is associated with sputum, and if you feel that your cough is leading to more production of sputum, more than what is usually produced, and if your sputum contains blood, or even if it is little bit of blood stain also, you should be careful and you should consult your doctor at the earliest, because any disease which, if caught in the earliest phase, will definitely lead to a different approach, and a different your result of that disease will be different. So you should consult your doctor at the earliest. The next is your coming out of blood in the sputum, hemoptysis. Most commonly, we all know mukhere kahile tez ulale, it is TB. Sobe hetue bhabe, cinema to hetue dekhai thake, but that is not the case. Hemoptysis, jitu ami mukhere tez ulua kau, that is not exactly, not always TB, and that can be that hemoptysis also can occur due to a number of causes. For India, most commonly it is TB, that I know, that I agree. But the other thing is that you should also rule out other causes of all these, coughing out of blood. One can be your allergic causes can also lead to your coughing out of blood. Sometimes fungal infections, fungal infection in the lungs can also lead to your coughing out of blood. Next is your lung cancer. Lung cancer can also lead to coughing out of blood. So not necessary that any time we cough out blood, it is TB. It is not the norms. So you should consult your doctor if you're having coughing out of blood in your sputum. So you should go to your doctor, preferably pulmonologist, who will then be able to guide you. He will he'll ask you to do some tests, and then ultimately we come to a diagnosis. The third is your chest pain. Now, chest pain as such it can be different types. One is your chest pain, which is related to your lungs. The other is chest pain, which is related to your heart. The third is chest pain, which is related to your rib cage. So, ami jodi kunbai jodi amak bukut ghusiyai diye, tetiao amar buku bikhabo. Keteba heart attack holeo buku bikhai. Keteba kahi kahiyo buku bikhai. So, chest pain can be different causes for chest pain. But in cases of your respiratory medicine, the causes of chest pain are different. So most commonly respiratory cause of chest pain is lung cancer. So if you are having a cough for a long duration of time, or you're also having, a little bit of coughing out of blood, along with your chest pain for a long duration of time, maybe 3 to 4 months, you should consult your pulmonologist at the earliest. The next is your breathing difficulty. So that also has different types. One are non-respiratory causes and one is respiratory causes. So non-respiratory causes can be even when you are tensed or anxious, anxiety, অলপ tension হলে ভয় ভাব লাগিলে উশাহ লোৱাত কষ্ট পোৱা নিচিনা অনুভৱ হয়, and the other is genuinely যেটো উশাহ লোৱাত কষ্ট হয়. So most commonly in India and in Assam particularly, most common cause of breathing difficulty is your যেটো আমি normally কওঁ হাঁপানি বেমাৰটো, asthma or bronchitis. So these are the causes most commonly which lead to your causes of development of breathlessness. The other thing is that when we talk of asthma and bronchitis, that also has its different divisions. So a young person coming to you, apnar jodi boyos to kom hoy ase, your family history of asthma jodi ase, then most likely you are suffering from asthma. Jodi apnar boyos hoise, you have had past history of or chronic smoker jodi asile, so or probably if you're working in a very in a factory or in an area where there are a lot of dust exposure, occupational exposure jodi ase, then it is most likely to be bronchitis. So because these these are two different entities. Asthma and bronchitis are not the same entity, so their treatment protocol also differs. So for this, even if you have breathlessness for a long time, which is also leading to that sound while breathing. So that problem if you are having for a long duration of time, you should consult your chest physician, because these are the most common causes which you might be suffering from. And since these are two different entities, their treatment protocol also differs. So for this, you need to have proper treatment for this. The other thing is so these are mainly the these are mainly the 6 cardinal chest symptoms what I told. So when we talk of these 6 cardinal chest symptoms, so we can basically delineate which type of disease we are which we are covering, which are dealing with. So the other আকৌ এটা common problem হৈছে আমাৰ যেটো কাহৰ লগতে উশাহটো দগদাৰ হয়, জ্বৰো উঠে. So all these are present. So if you have a short duration of history, for example, you're having a 2 to 3 days or maybe a week of high fever, or you're having breathlessness, you're having cough, you're having a little bit of phlegm in your cough. So if you have that sort of a history, then your diagnosis is most likely to be of a pneumonia. আৰু আজিকালি যেটো যেহেতুকে সবে জানে আৰু মানে কোভিডৰ যেটো এটা কাল চলি আছে, so viral pneumonia যেটো কোভিডৰ কাৰণে যেটো pneumonia হয়, that also can be one of the cause. So short duration or যদি history যদি আছে with cough, breathlessness, fever, especially high fever, then you're most likely to be suffering from pneumonia. So then you need to consult your chest physician, because he or she will then basically find out what type of pneumonia we are dealing with and treat you accordingly. The next thing is your যেটো আমি commonly পাই থাকো হৈছে allergic cough বা যেটো smokers cough. Smoking কৰে আজিকালি even very young people, they start smoking at a very young age. So there's this type of cough called smoker's cough, which you have this, that's dry, irritating kind of long duration cough. So that can also lead to your long duration cough with a history of smoking. So this is also another type of cough which is commonly seen, and that is your smoker's cough. So basically, these are the commonly chest symptoms which I've told you. And also I've told you a little bit of the, the conditions where you should be worried about, and you should consult your physician, chest physician preferably, who will then ultimately help you in giving your diagnosis and will ultimately help in giving you a proper, adequate treatment for your disease. Thank you. Hello. Yeah. Is there any query? Or I think we'll have the queries later on in the session. I think after all the 3 sessions are over.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? Thank you,
Yes,
Priyanka
yes.
Changmai, Dr. Priyanka Changmai. It's a very informative session. We should know about chest problems. So I like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Devraj Mahanta. He will talk on use of ICT and internet security. And, before this, I like to introduce him among the participants. Devraj Mahanta.
Yes, sir. I think I'm audible, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. Devraj Mahanta completed MSc in Information Technology from Guwahati University, and now he is working as a software developer and trainer in Mantra Associates, Guwahati. And he is a very skillful person. He is skilled on Python, JavaScript, PHP, HTML, CSS, C++, good communication skill, etc. He is awarded in various fields like faculty development program in collaboration with IIT Guwahati, ENICT Academy, IIT Guwahati, and he is also done various projects like performance analysis of AODB routing protocol in MANET MSc IT project actually, and automatic room monitoring system BSc IT projects, and he's a very young and talented speaker. As I know him earlier, he came to our college as a resource person in FDP, Faculty Development Program. Now I request Mr. Devraj Mahanta to continue his session.
Okay, so thank you, sir. I first of all thank you thank you for inviting me as a lecturer in this program. So first of all, I thank all the guests that has been ma'am Priyanka ma'am. After that, Mukul sir, your speeches are so grateful and nice to me also. So without any delay, I will just going to start with the session. Okay. So basically in this session, I'll be talking about internet and internet security. Okay. So I have prepared one presentation. So I will share my presentation and after that I will start. Okay. So let me share my screen first. So I think my screen is visible to all. So in case you find any difficulty, you can ask me. Okay. So first of all, whenever I want to talk about some topic like ICT, okay. First of all, I'm going to start with ICT. ICT stands for Information and Communication Tools. Okay. So what is Information Communication Tool? So the tools that we are using for communicating each other, it is come under the ICT. Okay. So like mobile phone we are using, okay, like our microphone we are using. So these are come under ICT tools. Okay. So what is the use of this ICT in our education system? Okay. So first of all, if we want to know what is the use of ICT in our education system, so like this one I have already prepared. So why we use this ICT tool in our education system? Because we all know, okay, because we all know that whenever we are using this internet in our education, okay, whenever we use the internet in our education, what is happening? This is accessible for everyone. Okay, anyone in the world can access our information with the help of internet. Okay, so these are some of the use of ICT tool in our education system. So one of the uses there, that is effective learning, right? So we can say whenever we are using the internet in our ICT tool, okay, whenever we are using some ICT tools in our education system, we can say that our learning is effective. Okay. Similarly, it is accessible for all. I have already discussed that whenever it is come under internet, so it is accessible for everyone. Okay. So like that, it is anytime, because we all know whenever we are using the internet, there is no time about that. Okay. We can use internet in any time. So that's why that whenever we are using ICT in our education system, this is for anyone, anytime, and it is done while that is effective learning. Okay. And the last one is anywhere. So anyone can access the content or access the internet from anywhere. Okay. So that's why these are the some of the importance whenever we use ICT in our education system. Okay. So then after we are having some of the tools like cloud storage platform. So I think you all are aware about the cloud storage platforms like Google Drive, okay, OneDrive. We are using these applications, but the main disadvantage is that we don't know what to store in Google Drive, what to store in OneDrive, like that. Okay, we are storing our all data in the cloud storage platform. Remember one thing: whenever you are using internet, okay, because after some time I will come to some of the hacking attacks. Okay, I will be showing one live demonstration of hacking attack so that it will become very easy to you to know how the hacking attack actually perform. Okay, and how can you get safe from that type of hacking attacks. Okay, so I will be not teaching you how to do attacks. Okay, I will be teaching you how you can get safe from that type of attacks. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you about that is storing the application. Okay, what we want to store or what we need not to store in Google Drive or some other cloud storage platform. So whenever we are using the cloud storage platform, it is online. Okay, remember this part, this is online. So it is not stored in your computer. it will be stored somewhere else. Like whenever you are using using Google Drive, you are using Google server for storing the device, storing the files. Similarly, if you are using OneDrive, you are using Microsoft OneDrive, okay, Microsoft server to store your store your files. Similarly, the one is more that is the Mega, okay. So I will just include this all because these are popular, okay. These are very popular cloud storage platform. This Mega is also a popular, but I always recommend you to not store your sensitive data in this personal or in this cloud storage devices. Okay, now I am timing about the what to store. Suppose you want to store some of the pictures of your travels. You can store that type of pictures, that type of files in your cloud storage platform. But whenever you are storing some sensitive data, like suppose you do what, you write all your bank details, bank account number, password, and all the username, because suppose you are thinking that, okay, these are lots of bank accounts or these are lots of accounts that I'm having, and I used to forgot all the password and usernames. And you did what? You just write all the file, all the detail in your notepad, and after that you save it in your Google Drive. Okay, then what can happen if your Google Drive get hacked? Okay, if your Google account get hacked, your data, your document will be get also hacked. Okay, so remember, don't store the personal information, okay, or the sensitive information in Google Drive. Okay, so if anyone want to ask some query, you can ask me. Okay, you can comment in the comment section so that I can know. Okay. So okay, if you want to okay, if you have any query, you can write in the comment section so that I can know. Okay. Okay, so I am just continuing with the session. You can ask me after the session also. Okay, after the covering of this session, you can ask me any query. Okay, so what I'm just discussing is I am just discussing about this Google Drive and all this cloud storage platform. Okay, just remember, don't store your personal or sensitive information in this cloud storage platform, whether it is Google Drive, whether it is OneDrive, and whether it is Mega, because you cannot trust all these online platforms. Okay. Most of the people are died. So it is asking for the okay. So I think it is clear to all of you what is a cloud storage platform. So remember, whenever you are using cloud storage platform, it files that you are uploading or that you are storing, it is not stored in your computer. It is stored in the cloud server. Okay. So this is all about the cloud storage platform. And some of the examples are like Google Drive, OneDrive, Mega, and lots are there, but these are the popular. Okay. So if you want to store your devices or your files, you can use Google Drive, because Google Drive gives you 15 GB of space as a free account. And this OneDrive gives you 5 GB of space, and this Mega gives you 50 GB of space. Okay, remember this Mega, that's why I have included this Mega, because Mega gives you 50 GB of online storage. Okay, so that's all about this Google, so that's all about the cloud storage platform. So whenever we come about the internet, okay, so we are using internet for the communication. Okay, so whenever we are using internet, what is happening? It runs with some protocols. Okay, so I am not going so much in technical, okay, because it will take some time also if I go so deep on technical, because time is also not permitting us, and it is not required by you also, okay, to go in very detailed. Okay. So what are the safe platform to store? Okay, sir, you were asking, Devashish sir, you were asking me that what is the safe platform to store sensitive file. Sir, I recommend you to store your sensitive file whether in your pen drive or whether in your computer hard drive. Okay, because all the computer that belongs to you now, so you know, okay, you know, or you have the physical access on the devices. But whenever you are using this online platform, that type of control will be not present there. Okay, whenever it comes, okay, I will just again tell that whenever it comes online, so online platform is not 100% secure. Okay, no one can say that this is 100% secure. Always remember, you have oftenly heard about something like Twitter account get hacked, Facebook account get hacked. Okay, so like that you are hearing about that. So you cannot say that online platform is 100% secure. Okay, whenever it comes to internet, it is not 100% secure. Okay, I just told you that if you want to be secure, you can store your data in your computer, okay, or in your pen drive, okay. So I think it is clear to all of you. So now let me discuss about this IP address. Okay, don't go in the technical term. That is, if I delete. Okay, one question is there: if I delete a Gmail account, then will it delete all the data I saved in Google Drive? Okay, so I think Ila ma'am, whenever you are using Google Drive, okay, whenever you are creating a Gmail account, automatically all your accounts, all your Google accounts are created. Okay, so if you delete it, your account will, your data will also, your Google Drive also get deleted, ma'am. So whenever you permanently delete your account, it will delete your all data. But remember, whenever you are deleting the data also, okay, whenever you are deleting your data also, it may present in Google Drive. Okay, it may present in Google server. You cannot say that my data has been deleted by Google. Okay, you cannot say, because you don't have the access to the Google server, isn't it? So you cannot say like that. Okay. Please define the VPN. Okay, VPN. Okay, I'll tell you something about VPN also. Okay, please remember this topic. If I forgot, please remind me. Okay, so I am just discussing about this part first, that is IP address. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about IP address means it is the unique ID of your computer. Remember, whenever you are using internet, okay, by mobile phone or by your computer or mobile phone get one ID, because internet doesn't know your computer as your name. Okay, it recognize your computer, or you recognize you as a IP address or a number. So I'll tell you there are actually how many IP addresses are there. Okay, so I will tell you about that part. Okay, so whenever I'm discussing about IP, so it is like this one. Okay, so let me move this side. Okay. So I think it is now visible to everyone. So whenever I'm talking about IP address, so these are some of the example. Okay, so there are two types of IP addresses. Okay, one is IP version 4. This is the oldest IP. Okay, and this is the newer. Okay, this is the newer version. So whenever we are discussing about this IP version 4, it is look like this one, like 192.168.1.23. So whenever you see this type of number, okay, you just remind that this is a IP address. Similarly, whenever we talk about IP version 6, the IP address look like this one. This is the newer one and this is the older one. So what is the difference? You can see the difference here. What is the difference? It is clearly written here that IP version 4 can hold up only this much of user. Remember one thing, whenever you are using internet, you need to have a unique ID. So that's why this IP version 4 can only assign this much of IP. Okay, after that it is not able to assign any IP. Okay, similarly, if I go to this IP version 6, it can give up to this much of IP. It means that at a time, this much user can connect it to the internet. Remember this part, okay? And from here, at a particular time, only this much of user can get connected. Okay. After that, the user cannot get connected if it is not IP is not allotted, because whenever the IP is not allotted, the user will not able to join the internet or connect to the internet. Okay, so that is the difference between IP version 4 and IP version 6. And remember one point, there are lots of security flaw also in IP version 4, and that are fixed in this IP version 6. Okay, and one more option is that this IP version 6 have some lots of advantages, and it is not commercialized now because it is now also in a testing phase. But you can see whenever you on your Geo network, okay, it will basically gives you the IP version 6. Okay, so let me show you. If I go to my internet, okay, if I show my IP address, so what is my IP? If I write like this, so you can see this is okay, this is my IP. So whenever I am just connected to the internet, everyone on the internet knows me with this IP address. Okay, remember this part. This is my ID, so everyone on the internet just know me as this IP address. Okay, they don't know me as I am Devraj. Okay, so they know me as this IP address. Okay, so remember, whenever you are connected, you are recognized by this IP address. Okay, so there is a lots of use of this IP address. What is the use of that? Suppose this IP always get changed. Okay, suppose I am disconnected from the network, and again suppose I am connected. So after the connection, I will get another IP. Okay, So this tracking, the IP tracking will be done by your ISP, that is Internet Service Provider. Suppose you are using Jio, so Jio will be taking the track, okay, that this IP will be allotted to this mobile number. After that, again, you are connected now. So then again, it will keep the track that this IP is assigned to this mobile number, like that it is keeping the track, okay. Remember, the IP address is tracked by your ISP, okay. ISP always keep the track when and where the IP will be allotted to you, and when and how many times you are using that IP. So all these track are taken by your service provider, that is Jio, Airtel, whatever the service provider you are using, okay. So similarly, if I click on this intro, okay, if I click on this option, you can see it is written like 2 to the power 32, okay. So remember, 2 to the power 32 means this IP address holds up 32 bits. No need to go in technicals, okay. So just remember, whenever you write like this one, it will be converted to zeros and one, okay. This is the binary language, because computer only know the binary language, okay. So that's why whenever you write written like this one also, it will automatically get converted to these numbers, okay. That is like binary numbers. And you can see this total binary number is 32, okay. There are 32 bits, and combining these 32 bits, we can have only 0 and 1. So that's why 2 to the power 32, okay. So that's why the unique ID will be like this one, okay. This is the unique ID. If we calculate this, that is 2 to the power 32, we will get this number. Similarly, if you okay, if you see this, okay, I think IP version 4 is clear to all of you, okay. Only there some periods will be there, okay. Dot, with this dot, it is separated. Similarly, if I see this IP version 6, if I click this, you can see this is look like this one, okay. This is look like this one, okay. So this is look like this one, and whenever you convert this, it will have 128 bits, okay. So that's why it can hold up to this much of addresses. Whenever you calculate this 2 to the power 128, you will get this much of number. So it can hold up to this much of number. And what is the necessary of this IP? Sorry, I just get disconnected, I think. Okay, so I think I am now audible again. If I am audible, please let me know. If I am audible, please let me know.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So I think this IP is clear to all of you now. Okay. So similarly, one more protocol is there, that is TCP. Okay, TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. So whenever you are downloading something from internet, whenever you are uploading something to internet, it follows this law, that is TCP, that is Transmission Control Protocol. Okay. So I'll not go on this transmission control protocol in detail. I will go to this hacking attacks. Okay, so that whenever you are using internet, you can get safe from these hacking attacks. Okay, so basically all this part you know about this. Okay, that is ICT, IP address. You can also Google, and you can get lots of information about all these topics. But whenever it comes to this part, it is not discussed openly, and it is not discussed everywhere. Okay, so I'd like to discuss some of the topics that I have included, some of the attacks that I have included. Okay, so first one, if I show you this social engineering, remember one part, that is whenever some hacking attack is done, the 90% of the hacking that has been happened, that is doing with this social engineering. So what is social engineering? Okay, so what is social engineering? You can see it is look like this one. Okay, suppose you are the owner of a suppose account, and suppose you got some call from bank accounts like, okay, can you just tell me some OTP like that? Have you got some of the call like that And they are just assuming that they are just presenting himself like a bank assistant like that. Okay, so this type of attack is called as the social engineering. So whenever it comes to social engineering, it means that it is doing what? It is playing with your mind. Okay. So whenever we discuss about social engineering, it is like playing with your mind. Okay. They are just tricking your mind to get your information. So this is called as the social engineering. Okay. So I think social engineering is clear to all of you. What is social engineering? Now I will tell you how you can get safe from this social engineering. Okay. Remember, whenever someone is just calling you and asking for you some like OTP like that. Okay, OTP stands for one-time password. Okay, it has a validity. After that time, after the expiry of the time, the OTP also get expired. Okay, so whenever someone is asking your OTP, don't give your OTP to anyone. Remember this part. Don't give OTP to anyone because OTP is only for you. Okay, don't share. Already, I think in these 2 days. In the coming days, okay, in these days also, your bank accounts like SBI also message texting you like, don't share your OTP to anyone like that. Okay, so remember this part. Whenever they are calling, okay, whoever is calling, don't give your OTP to anyone. Remember this part because they will treat you like that. Okay, they can trick your mind like that. They will just take your OTP from your mind. Okay, they will trick you like that. Like suppose they will tell you like, I am the owner of the, I am the manager of the bank like that. They will tell you like that. Okay, so don't give OTP. Okay, don't give OTP or some your information, not OTP actually, your information. Don't give any information of yourself to anyone. Okay, to any unknown. First of all, verify himself, and after that, if you see that this is a valid person, then you can share your information because your information is very precious nowadays. Because with the help of your information, they can hack you. Okay, so that's why don't share your personal information to anyone. Okay, to get safe from this type of attack that is called as the social engineering. And in this social engineering, they are basically tricking your mind. Okay, remember, whenever they are using social engineering, they are just tricking your mind to get the data from your mind like that. Okay, so this is they will act like a good person, but inside that there is a bad person. Okay, so I think this social engineering is clear to all of you. Okay, so I will just say give one example of social engineering. That I have one example I have already told, that is the phone call, and another one example is like this one, phishing. Okay, so I will give one example of phishing at the end of the session also, so that it will become very easy to you to know whether what is phishing actually. Okay, so I'll come this phishing later on. So now I'm discussing about this part, that is MITM. Remember, MITM stands for man in the middle attack. Okay, man in the middle. It means that the man will be sit in the middle of the internet and you, like this one. If I show the picture, it is look like this one. So suppose you are the user. Okay, and suppose you are accessing some website. So what can happen? Someone can sit inside you and your network, and they can redirect your traffic or redirect your information. First of all, whenever you are requesting to the website, it will go to the hacker, and after that attacker, it will go to the website. The attacker can change or can view or can monitor your data. Okay, so now how you can get safe from this type of attack? Remember, whenever you are using Wi-Fi, so remember this part clearly because you are using Wi-Fi network now. So whenever you are using Wi-Fi, okay, suppose you are using wireless communication network, Wi-Fi. In that Wi-Fi, don't connect to an unauthorized or unrecognized Wi-Fi, because if you are connected to the Wi-Fi, the control will go to the Wi-Fi hotspot, whoever created the Wi-Fi. Okay, whoever created the hotspot or the Wi-Fi, they will get the control and they can do anything to you. If the person are not good, they can hack your data whenever you are browsing. So that's why if you are using some open Wi-Fi, okay, suppose you got some Wi-Fi like in your railway, you got some Wi-Fi network now. Suppose whenever you go to railway station for your traveling, you got your Wi-Fi. So whenever you are using railway Wi-Fi also, don't use your bank credential in there. Okay, don't check your bank account detail in there. Okay, so that's how you can get safe from this attack that is called as the man in the middle attack. And remember, this attack is very dangerous because this user is not able to know that he is getting hacked. Okay, so this user will not able to know that he is getting hacked. So to save from this type of attack, you don't connect yourself to a unknown Wi-Fi network or an unknown internet connection. I'm not talking about Wi-Fi, unknown internet connection. Only authorized and valid internet connection you connect. Okay, suppose like you created your hotspot from your mobile phone, on that you can connect. And whenever, remember one part also, whenever you are using your hotspot, suppose you are turning on your hotspot, keep a strong password as your Wi-Fi security. Because if your password is not secure, your Wi-Fi address or your Wi-Fi password can get hacked, and anyone at your neighbor, okay, and at your near, they can get connected to the network, okay, and they can use your network for doing some illegal things. Remember, whenever they are just connected to your Wi-Fi and they are just doing some illegal things, the cops will directly come to you because they are using your network, okay, and the network is not recognized by their name now. They are just recognizing by the IP addresses. So the cops will be coming to the tracking the IP addresses, and this IP address will belong to you. So that's why whenever you are turning your hotspot on, keep a good and secure password on that, so that no one can connect it rather than your permission. Okay, if you give the permission, then only they can connect. Without your permission, no one can connect. Okay, don't keep your Wi-Fi without any security. Okay, so give a good secure password, and after that you will use your Wi-Fi connection. So I think it is very clear to all of you how you can get safe from this man in the middle attack. Okay. So after that, I will be discussing about this DOS. DOS is basically DOS attack is done in the server side. Suppose in the Google server, like that server, this DOS attack is done. So DOSes look like this one. Suppose this is an attacker. So they will do what? They will simply, in the server side, this is the server of suppose some website. So they can send some traffic. Okay, they can send some requests. Suppose this server can handle only 100 of requests. Okay, suppose this server can handle only 100 requests. Only suppose 100 user, this server can accept. After exceeding of 100 user, suppose this server will get crashed, or suppose this server will get stopped, or suppose this server will stop working. So what will happen? The hacker will do what? Hacker will do so much of requests, like suppose 100 of 10 requests. Okay, he will send by alone 100 of 10 requests. Okay, so like that they can do the server attack. In that attack, what will happen? The server will server will go down. Okay, suppose whenever we get some results in some website, like suppose Assam results.in, like that websites are there now. Suppose in the time of the result, announcing the result, the server is basically go down. Yes, actually the server is go very down, and we are just again refreshing and refreshing. It is not coming. So actually that type is also doing this, but that was the not attack. That was the issue of the server. That server cannot take lots of burden or lots of requests. So that's why. So how much safe to use mobile banking apps using using your own mobile data, and how much safe to use online banking through laptop? Okay, sir. That's why I have just okay, Shekhar sir. I think after my presentation, it will be clear to you, sir, because I am having a surprise for you all. Okay, so I think up to this, it is clear to all of you. I have not introduced lots of attacks. Okay, there are so many attacks are there, but these are the popular of some. Okay, the social engineering is the most popular attack, and then after it is come as MITM. Okay, and I have included this DOS also, so that you will get the idea whenever we got the result, some server go down. Okay, the server go down because of the load capacity, because the server cannot take that much of load. That's why it is going down. Okay. So phishing attack, I will be taking this option, that is phishing attack. Okay, whenever I click on this phishing, okay, so you can see like this one. So this is like a phishing attack. What will happen? The hacker or the attacker will send you some link. Okay, the attacker will send you some link, and that link, after whenever you open the link, it will look like the original website. Okay, it is look like the original website, and whenever you put your credential on that website, your data will get hacked. Okay. So let me show you some example. Let me show you one example so that it will become very clear to all of you. Sir, you are asking me how much your banking, okay, or online banking is secure. Okay, it is secure, sir, but you need to take some steps, okay, to make it secure. Okay, so I'll show you how you can get secure whenever you are using online banking system or online applications. Okay, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Whenever you are using that type of applications, also you can take look out of this options that I'm showing here, so that you can know that these websites that you are using are the authentic website. Okay, so let me go back so that I can show you. Okay, I have just include this page. Okay, so let me go to the demo file. Okay, so I have created one website for you. Okay, this is the website that I have created. Okay, so let me open one website also. Suppose SBI CRD. I think you are using this website. Okay, this is the SBI card website. Okay, suppose whenever you click on this website, it is look like this one. Remember, okay, remember this URL. Okay, this is called as the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, so whenever you are using some website, all the website have their own URL. Okay, all the website have their own URL, and this is called as the URL. So remember this part. Okay, because I will be talking this part later on. But what is the use of it? Okay, what is the use of this? So let me go to this website that I have created. I have created this website, that is SBI card, similar website that I have created. You can see if I click on this website. Okay, let me open it. If there is any difference between this website, please let me know. If there is any difference between this website, look at these options. It is similar. Okay, look at the interface. Is there any difference? Everything is similar. Okay, if I click on this, you can see everything is similar. Okay, so how you got hacked actually? So look at the URL. Okay, look at the URL. Is this the URL of SBI card? Can you see the URL? Although the website is similar to C, okay, similar as blue, but the URL that I am using here is not the actual URL, isn't it? Okay, so it is so. Okay, so if I click on this, you can see this is the original URL or the Uniform Resource Locator, and this is the URL that I have created. Okay, let me show you first, then after I will explain. So if I go to this login, you can see if I go to the authentic page, this is the authentic page. Okay, this is the authentic page. If I go to login, it is look like this one. You can see this URL. Okay, this is the URL of original website. Okay, so this is look like this one. Similarly, if I click on this and if I click on this login, you can see the URL has been changed. Okay, and but can you see the user interface? User interface is similar. All the interface is similar. You can see all the interface is similar, isn't it? So what happened if I give some user detail here? So what will happen? They will get stored in my computer. Okay, so you can give one username so that I can show you. Okay, you can write your username. Okay, you can give any of the username at your comment box. So okay, so that you can know that it is valid. Okay, so give any username and password in the comment box. Anyone can give. Okay, I will take one. What happened? Okay, no, don't give your original username and password. Okay, give a random username and password. Suppose let me take one. Okay, I'm just taking. Suppose RANDOM random @123. Okay, this is suppose my username. Okay, so random @123 is my username, and suppose password I am taking like suppose that is the exclamation. Okay, I'm using exclamation QWERTY @123. Okay, I'm taking the password as okay this one. Let me okay. Okay, so let me just let me show you first so that it will become easy to you. So Control Z. Okay, so I'm just taking the username as thank you, sir. Okay, suppose I'm taking suppose I'm taking the username as this one. Okay, I'm writing here RANDOM random @123. This is my username, and suppose password I'm taking this one. Okay, question. Okay, QWERTY @123. Okay, @123. So what I can do, I will copy this one. Okay, I will copy this random and this all this. I will go to this website and I will paste it here. Okay, I will pasting here. Similarly, I will again copying this password and I'm pasting it here for your understanding. Okay, so that it will become authentic. So I'm pasting it here. So if I click on this login now, if I click on, okay, remember this URL. Okay, so if I click on this login now, you can see. Don't say. Now it is coming to the original website. You can see this is the original website. It is coming. But what happened when I give the username and detail? It gets saved in my computer. So if I go to my computer, okay. So if I go to my computer, okay. So in my machine, okay, in my machine it got saved. Okay. So if I So if I go to my computer, these all are the websites that I have created. Okay. So you can see Okay, at the action I have saved you. So this one. So you can see I am having one file that is credential.txt. So what I can do, if I open this, you can see, okay, you can see this is the username and this is the password, and it is got saved in my computer. Okay, so that can be happen to you. Okay, so what is happening, it is called a phishing attack. Okay, someone send you some link, and whenever you click on the link, the website will look like similar. Okay, suppose you are getting a link for your, okay, suppose you are getting a link for your bank detail. Okay, similarly this can be happen in Facebook also. This can be done in any of the website like Gmail, any of the website this can be done. Okay, so remember this part that I'm saying, this attack can be done in any of the website. So what you need to do, you need to check whether the URL is authentic or not. Okay, so whenever you are using this URL, so don't click any of the link that you got from an unknown source. Okay, whenever you are getting some link from the unknown person, okay, don't click on that URL or don't click on the link. How you can recognize the original? Or sir, remember when you got some URL like okay, whenever you got some URL, suppose in this SBI card, you can see this URL is sbicard.com. So in this, suppose someone has do the phishing attack. So what they can do, they can give you some URL like http, okay, //sbiicard. Okay, like that URL they can give you. This is look like the same, but there is a I is additional. Okay, so remember, whenever one website is there with a URL, that is suppose this SBI card, only one website can be there in this as this link. Okay, in this link, no more than one website can be hosted or can be open. Only one website can hold this URL. Okay, so remember to look at the URL whether the URL is authentic or not. Okay, so after if you find that URL is authentic, then you can proceed. Otherwise, don't proceed to the URL link. Okay, so I think it is clear to all of you how phishing is done actually. So I will not tell you how it is doing, but I have to told you how you can get saved whenever you got this type of link. Okay, so remember, whenever you got this type of link, go to the Google. Okay, go to Google. Okay, after going to Google, you can do what? You can search. Okay, you can Google search. Yes, Samita Rani. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I think it is clear to all of you now what is a phishing attack. So this is called actually a phishing attack. Okay, so what is done whenever you open a phishing link? So the attacker will give you a link, and in that link, the website that will open is look like the similar, but that website is not the authentic website. Okay, so you can directly go to Google and you can search. Okay, you can suppose you are opening this SBI card, so you can directly go to Google and search SBICARD. Okay, then after you go to the SBI card detail, you can see it will give you the authentic URL. Or whenever you are using that type of URL, you may be redirect to another website. So that's why don't click onto a unknown URL. Okay, so I think it is clear to all of you that what I have discussed in this session, how you can get saved. Okay, so never share your OTP. Don't click on any of the URL that you got from anyone. Okay, first of all, verify the URL, then after you click. Okay, so like that you can take some action. Okay, so that's that much about my session. So I think there is a question about whether okay, when we use internet banking in mobile, whether my account detail can be hacked. Sir, whenever you are using mobile, okay, so remember one thing, because you are always using mobile phone today's. Okay, in this we are not using computer nowadays, we are using our mobile phones. Okay, so remember, whenever you are using your Android mobile phone, try to install all the application in Google from your Google Play Store. Okay, don't install any of the application from any source. Like suppose you got some APK and got installed now, don't install that type of application from anywhere. Only install the application from Google Play Store. And for the iPhone user, you cannot install from other sources. You can install your application from Apple Store. Okay, so remember, whenever you are using mobile phone, try to install all the application from Google Play Store, because Google is also always checking what which application is not good. Okay, so they will just inform you whenever they will find some vulnerability in the web, application. They will just warn you that uninstall this application from your mobile phone. It will cause harm to you, like that. So if you are using some unknown application, so it will cause some error. But whenever you are using only installing the, yes sir, I remember, yes. Whenever you are installing the application from Play Store, you can say that you are pretty much secure, but not 100%. Okay. But the application like Uno application, all the application of SBI and other Google Pay, these applications are secure. But remember, whenever it will, one incident I will tell you, sometime it may happen that in your Google Pay, there may be a option. Okay, there may be a pop-up will be there, like you need to press your UPI ID or UPI code. So don't put your UPI code anytime. Suppose you got some pop-up and you just click on OK, and it is asking you to put your UPI. So don't put the UPI at the time, because someone may get access to your Google, Google Drive, not that is your UPI ID, and they can do what? They can make a request to you to pay them. Okay, so they will request money from you, and whenever you got that request and you click on OK, it will ask you to give your that is UPI ID. So whenever you are using this type of mobile banking today, don't put your UPI ID. Okay, don't put your UPI ID in that situation. Verify that first of all. After that, put your UPI ID, because nowadays this UPI ID will be the everything. Okay, whenever you put your UPI ID and click on OK, the transaction will be done. Nothing can you do. Okay, so remember that part. So I think there is a question from Tapas sir, that is VPN. Sir, actually VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. Okay, so whenever you are using free VPN, this is not secure. I highly recommend you don't use the free VPN. Okay, whenever you are, if you want to use free VPN, sir, whenever you are using VPN, now it is like this one. Okay, man in the middle attack. Okay, so whenever you are using VPN, it is like this one. You are sending your request to someone, and they are sending your request to the website, and then again the website will be send a request to this person, this VPN, and again this VPN will respond to you. So if you are using this type, some of the free VPN or unauthorized VPN, they can view your data or they can view your request. So always try to don't install any VPN application in your mobile phone, and don't browse anything with that type of VPN. If you want to stay secure, you can go for the paid VPN. There are lots of applications that are providing with a paid VPN, so you can trust them, because paid VPN have some terms and policy, so they will never violate that terms and policy. Okay, because whenever you are installing the VPN, okay, or the application, they will ask some permissions from you, and you just without reading the terms and condition, you click on the tick and you go to proceed. Please first of all view the terms and condition. If you find that the terms and condition is okay to you, then you can proceed, and if you don't find the terms and condition is good to you, then you can stop your proceed. Okay, so like that you can get safe from the VPN. Will my surfing detail? Yes, whenever you are using VPN, what will happen? The VPN provider, from where you are taking the VPN, they will hide your IP and they will give their own IP. Okay, then again this website will be respond to that IP, this VPN, and this VPN will respond to you then. So your ID will be get hidden from this website, but this is all, everything is visible to this VPN service provider. Okay, so whenever you are using the VPN, so I think, so Tapas sir, I'm able to clear your doubt, sir. Tapas sir, I think I'm able to clear your doubt. So sorry for if I'm not taking the others query. What about Paytm? Is it safe to connect with UPI account? Sir, you can connect the Paytm, or because already you have, suppose you are having Google Pay or any of the UPI account. Okay, like suppose Phone Pay is there, you can connect Paytm as well. But whenever, always I have just told you now, don't give the UPI ID anytime. Okay, sorry, in every time like that. Whenever it asking, you are giving the UPI ID. So don't give your UPI ID at the time. First of all, verify that you are going to do a transaction. After that, you can go to the UPI ID procedure. So basically, using the mobile app is safe. Yes. Actually, whenever you are using website and mobile application, both are safe. You cannot say that the website is safe or the application is safe. You need to be safe. Okay. You need to be get safe. Okay, because I have already told you that whenever hacking is done, so 90% of the hacking is done with the help of the social engineering. Okay, 90% of the hacking is done with the social engineering. Okay, so I think I am able to clear your all doubts about some of the internet security. Due to some, okay, I think time is over also. So if you have some doubt, you can please ask me quickly. Will my surfing with detail hidden from another? Okay, incognito mode. Okay, sir, I will tell you, Tapas sir. Whenever you are using incognito mode, what happen? Your browser will not save your data, like your password and like suppose your cookie. The browser will not save, but it will be gone to the website. Okay, so it will be not save you. It will not store the data at your website. Okay, at your browser. Suppose whenever you are using this incognito mode. Okay, suppose whenever you are using this incognito mode or this private window, what will happen? You can see Firefox, it will not save your data at your browser end. Okay, so remember this part. Whenever you are using the Google, suppose you are logged to Gmail. So whenever you log into Gmail and again come to Gmail, it will be automatically got logged in. But whenever you are using this incognito mode, you need to log in again, because incognito mode will not save anything to this browser. It is not at the server end, only at the browser end. It is not save anything. I think it is clear to you, sir. Is Google Pay safe for us, or there is any? Till now that I know, that Google Pay is safe enough. Okay, so because this is an online platform, so I will not recommend you to link your original account to Google Pay. Okay, so because whenever you are using your original account, what will happen? If something got in some time, if Google Pay got some errors, okay, your account may get hacked. So that's why you can keep 2 accounts. Okay, for online purpose you can take one, and for the offline purpose you can take one. So you can take 2 accounts, and one account, whenever that is the online account, you just you can link with your any of the accounts. Okay, like Google Pay, Phone Pay, you can link with any other, and your original, that is the original account, don't link with any other options. Okay, that in that time you can get saved. So I will share this PPT with Majuli College organizers, so they will provide you. Okay, so I think it is clear to all of you, and I think in short time I have covered all the parts. So if we got some time in the coming days, we can again explore some of the hacking attacks or some topics on internet. So I think I'm just clear to all of you now. Thank you, everyone. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Devraj Mahanta.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Devraj Mahanta, for your very valuable and informative lectures on use of ICT and internet security. Actually, we are in trouble in the era of ICT. That is called internet. We are insecure. Sometimes we feel insecure in using the internet. So this is, I think this is enough to our participants to cope with the security. Then I like to directly go to the query sessions. There is some questions for our all the three resource persons. The first of all, there is 2 questions for Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah, sir. Is there Mukul Chandra Borah, sir? Sir? Okay. The first question is, how banana trees can be used for setting up industries by young entrepreneur of Assam? Am I audible to Dr. Mukul Chandra Borah, sir?
Please unmute your sir, please unmute your mic.
Dr. Borah, sir, please unmute yourself.
Now you can unmute.
Dr. Borah, sir.
Please unmute.
Okay. Am I audible?
Okay. Yes.
Now?
Yes. You
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I have seen that question. So it can be done, but there is nothing called ready-made solution. So it has to be location centric, and some sort of R&D is required. So according to that only it can be given the solution. Otherwise it will be vague to give the solution right at this moment. It is as per the need of the situation. What banana tree is there, what type of banana tree is there, how much strength is there, that everything has to be analyzed. And it needs maximum 3 months to go through this.
Okay. Then another question for you, sir. How can we manage our domestic waste material for a productive purpose?
Domestic waste, first of all, food waste can be converted to organic fertilizer, manures. It is already available. No rocket science technology is there. And regarding the plastic, you can store it and somebody else has to collect, and it can be converted to fuel.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. This is
Any other domestic waste you mean?
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Domestic means those are the domestic waste, I believe. Food domestic waste and the plastic domestic waste. I mean, any other domestic waste? So other domestic waste means if it is cutlery, broken cutlery, cup plate, etc., etc. So please keep it aside. So I will use it. No problem. I will consume it. No issue. Please.
Okay. These are the two questions for you, sir. Then another question is,
Okay. Thank you.
For Dr. Priyanka Changmai. Dr. Priyanka Changmai. Are you here, Dr. Priyanka Changmai?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. Then questions for you is, most of the people died at present due to kidney or liver and other problems, but it declared as COVID-19. What happens? Why it happens, ma'am? One participant has asked this question.
Achha. No, see, COVID-19 presentation is related to the lungs. Basically, COVID-19 leads to your pneumonia formation. It is not as if like if you see a patient or you touch a patient of COVID and you'll die of COVID. Ultimately, COVID-19 attacks the lungs and it leads to pneumonia formation because these patients who are having kidney failure or liver failure or with decreased immunity level like uncontrolled diabetes, or having your undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. So because these patients, they have a decreased immunity level, what happens is that the pneumonia which forms because of COVID it progresses very fast. So normally what happens is in a healthy individual who doesn't have any other comorbidity, or even if he has comorbidity, but it is well controlled, like diabetes, he's taking his medications regularly, his sugar is well controlled. So in such cases, what you have is that the pneumonia takes not longer, but it takes its usual course of time, like 1 week, 10 days. But in cases of patients suffering from comorbid conditions and having conditions like liver failure or kidney problems, or already taking dialysis because of kidney failure, so the pneumonia which is occurring because of COVID, it leads to a faster progression in such cases. So ultimately it leads to faster progression, and ultimately because his immunity level is low, and as every one of us, we know that COVID is a relatively, in fact, not it's such a new topic, and it's such a new disease that there are very less studies related to COVID, or very less studies related to the medicines to be used in COVID. So we are still using medications which are in the experimental phase. There is no such fixed guidelines as such. Even the guidelines which have come from WHO, or the guidelines which are issued from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi, even those guidelines, the medications which they suggest is, they have always mentioned it, that these are off track, off the label medications, because some studies are going on, and many cases people have been found to be benefited with these medications. So we are using those medications. Because there is no such clear-cut guidelines. So in fact, all medications are also in the still experimental phase. So because of their already existing condition, which is not controlled well, so this leads to a faster progression of the pneumonia which develops due to COVID, and ultimately the patient does die of COVID pneumonia because because his lungs are affected, and because of his decreased immunity, faster progression to the severe category of COVID, because COVID pneumonia is also classified into different, like mild, moderate, asymptomatic, mild, moderate, severe. So it's very within a span of 2 to 3 days he progresses from mild to severe, and ultimately because such cases they have to be they do land up with ventilation, mechanical ventilation, which we do. And then because of their uncontrolled pre-existing status, their body is already very less immunity and already very sick patients. So this leads to a further deterioration of the pneumonia and faster progression of the pneumonia, and ultimately he dies of COVID pneumonia.
Thank you. There is another question. when to go for a doctor when it feels some irritation in throat, as there feel like some cough.
Yes. Yeah. See, that sore throat is, like a sore throat or whatever sore throat or this irritation in the throat which you feel, or the dry irritating cough. Like I said, if you're having it for a long duration of time, more than 10 days, more than 2 weeks, if you're having this sort of presentation, then you need to go to a doctor. But in cases where, it may be of 3 to 4 days duration only, but it is associated with other problems like breathlessness or breathing difficulty, or if you're having, a fever, very high fever along with that, or if you're, you're mainly what we all nowadays, we know that there's something called SpO2 probe, that pulse oximeter, which, detects your saturation level in oxygen saturation level in your blood. So if that falls down, or if you are, your breathlessness is increasing, you're not able to do your normal day-to-day activities. If those things are associated with that dry cough, then you need to go and get yourself checked to your nearest doctor. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Priyanka Changmai.
Yes.
These 2 questions for is for you. Then there is some questions for Mr. Devraj Mahanta.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Devraj Mahanta.
Yes, sir.
I think you have picked up some questions in your lectures.
Yes,
And
sir.
I will exclude these questions. And what are the procedures to get rid of hackers?
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, whenever you are using online platforms, you cannot get rid out of the hackers. Okay, it is not possible. But you can take some precautions so that you are not get hacked. Okay, so you take some precautions like you suppose don't give your mobile number anywhere. Okay, like that, because you got some phone call from anywhere, like they are saying that I'm the owner of the bank. Okay, I'm the manager of the bank, and please provide your OTP because your account will get otherwise blocked, like that. So don't provide your mobile number in some unknown platforms. Okay, suppose don't give your email ID in any of the websites. You go to your websites and give your email ID, the authentic email ID of yours. Okay, the personal email ID. So whenever you are using that type of websites, okay, suppose whenever you need to register, so try to create one new email. Okay, and that email you use that in that websites. Okay, whenever you got some registration, and use your personal that the Gmail or the email accounts in your official work only, so that you can omit or you can get rid of some of the phishing mails. Okay, so like that you can get saved, but you cannot get rid out of the hackers, because hackers are in everywhere. Okay, so that's all from my part for this question, sir. Sir, next question can I have? I think, sir, it is clear to you, sir, what I have told to you, that you cannot get rid out of the hackers, but you can get saved by using some precautions, or by measuring some precautions, like don't share your email ID or your phone number to anyone. Okay, so that you can avoid such type of phone calls or some type of spam mails. Arup, sir?
Okay. Then another question is for you.
Yes, sir.
One participant asked, what is Z form, and is it Z form safe?
Z form. Actually, sir, I have not used Z form. Okay, sir. So I cannot say that. Okay, if it is online, okay, if it is online, so don't take it as 100% secure. Okay, everything that are online are not 100% secure. Remember this part. Google is also not 100% secure. Okay.
Okay. Then there is a couple of questions relating to the security.
Okay, sir.
That is
Please, sir.
like Google Play, like VPN. You have already picked up the questions of VPN.
Yes, sir.
Then another question is for Z form. These are the same questions.
Okay, sir.
Another one question is it if I delete an email account,
Yes.
then will it delete all data that I saved in the Google Drive of that particular
Okay,
account?
So I have just picked up that question actually. Okay, so I will explain.
Okay.
Whenever you delete your Google account, okay, so you cannot permanently delete. Okay, remember that the Google don't allow you to delete permanently, because whenever you are deleting also, it is stored in Google server. Okay, whenever you are using, suppose you are using Google Drive. and you have uploaded something in the Google Drive, and you do what? And you delete some files. Your files will be deleted from your Google Drive, but you cannot confirm that it will be deleted from the Google server. Okay, so you cannot say the internal part of Google, because these all are the Google terms and policy. Google is giving you the service for free, so no one in these days give you for anything for free. Okay, so Google is using your data for their development. That's why Google is so smart nowadays, because they are using your data to make their AI system smarter. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
yes, sir.
Mr. Devraj Mahanta. These are
Thank
the
you, sir.
questions for you.
Okay, sir.
Then I'd like to request our I.Q.A.C coordinator, Mr. Prasanta Bharali of Majuli College, to give the feedback to the resource person and to the deliver a summary of the sessions and vote of thanks. Over to Mr. Prasanta Bharali, I.Q.A.C coordinator of our college.
Okay, thank you, Anup. Thank you, Anup. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible. You can speak now.
Yeah. So, a very good afternoon to all. Honorable Principal, sir. Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, and participants. On behalf of Majuli College and the webinar organizing committee, I feel immense pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks to all. I would like to thank our principal, sir, Dr. Arup Kumar Borah, and the advisor of this organizing committee, webinar organizing committee, and offer my deep regards and gratitude for always encouraging us and providing opportunities for organizing such events. In this COVID-19 pandemic session, lockdown session, his inspirational thoughts always motivate us a lot. I would like to thank with my deep sense of appreciation and to our chief guest, Dr. Devid Kardong sir, N.S.S. Program Coordinator, Dibrugarh University, who honored this webinar with his valuable words. Again, I would like to thank Dr. Mukul Borah sir, State Project Administrator, for his valuable lecture in motivating garbage in various fields of an economy. I thank him for his linear economic model in his speech. Again, I would like to thank Dr. Priyanka Changmai, MD, Pulmonologist, Assistant Professor JMCH, who gives us many valuable information relating to respiratory system, which is needful in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Again, I would like to thank Mr. Devraj Mahanta, Associates, System Analysis and Software Developer, for his valuable and informative lecture, especially of banking sector. I offer my deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all the participants who choose to be live with us and attended the webinar with great enthusiasm and made it a successful event. Last but surely not the least, I thank the organizing committee president, Deepak Borah, and the joint convener, Anup Kumar Borah and Uttam Saikia, for the technical support. Thank you. Thanks again. Over to convener.
Thank you, Prasanta Bharali sir. Then I'd like to request our organizing president, Mr. Deepak Borah sir. He is a vice principal of our college, and I request Mr. Deepak Borah sir. I request Deepak Borah sir to say a few words to the resource person and other participants. Please unmute yourself. Deepak sir.
Sir, please unmute yourself. You can unmute, sir.
Deepak Borah sir. You can speak now. You are unmute. Hello. Deepak Borah sir. Can you hear me? Okay. I think technical problems for the side of Deepak Borah sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all. Dear participants, we will provide the feedback link in our chat box, also in the various groups of WhatsApps and Telegram. You can fill it. Okay. Okay, over to Mr. Uttam Saikia. He will announce, he has some announce.
Thanks to our
Mr. Saikia, please unmute all the participants for 1 minute. They can express their feelings.
Uttam. Hello, Uttam.
all participants can now unmute yourself. Please unmute.
All participants can unmute yourself. If
Thank you,
like to
sir,
say something, then
for your good management.
Thank
okay.
you, sir. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, there is a small announcement from the side of the organizing committee of Majuli College. Then we are going to organize. We are going
Thank
to
you,
organize another.
organization committee of Majuli College.
Okay, we are going to organize another webinar on 17 August. All are requested to join in this webinar. This webinar is organized by Department of Assamese and Women Cell of Majuli College. And we are going to organize another international webinar on impact of COVID-19 on education, its challenges and opportunities on the in between 1st to 15th September. We will provide the registration link in the WhatsApp links. Then all are requested to not left from the WhatsApp link. Okay. Then here, we announce that the webinar is over. Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.